Hey TSG, today we're working on Absetzen against a thrust. This is very similar to the Absetzen action that we do against a cut, except for we're just coming in from a lower positioning, usually as the threat is coming around to my body. So we're going to jump right in. Again, I'm starting as an example like they do a lot of times in the text with us looking at this starting in a flug position. So I'm starting in my flug. I'm assuming in this case that my cut is coming in, my thrust is coming in over here, though it doesn't have to be. We're going to do both sides today. So as they come in on this side, I'm going to do the same thing as like when I'm doing the Absetzen against a cut. I'm taking my hands and I'm driving first into that cut before I finish my wind. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to drive over, forward. I'm assuming that what I want to do is I want to make as much contact far forward from my body as possible against that thrust. Both to kind of expand the cone of defense that comes from that bind point, and as well to kind of make that bind happen a little sooner before it gets really close to me. As I do this, I want to pull my body out of the way. The part of my body most exposed, if I'm standing in my right flug, is going to be my left shoulder, right? And if I just drive my hands forward but don't turn my hips, what ends up happening is this part of my body is still out and exposed. So and I like to do personally, is a very deep hip motion to reprofile myself on the other side, so that I'm pulling back. The primary target from that thrust is probably over here-ish. So I'm pulling that part of that primary target out at the same time that I'm extending my flug into my long point in order to kind of create that defensive position at first. You can do this again, long edge or short edge. Long edge is probably less orthodox than the short edge. Either way, I'm starting here. I'm extending into that position to make that contact with that thrust as soon as I can. Deep hip motion, pull my body out and extend into here. And then at that position, I'm in a kind of extended, I'm in an extended long point, actually as if I'd come out from the left side. What I'm doing is I'm pushing with my strong a little away from my body. What I want is my strong position to be right about my shoulder. I don't want to do is get to the point where I'm doing this and I'm pushing my sword offline. I want to do is get to the point where I'm pushing with my strong, keeping my tip forward. So I'm extending my strong to make that bind as I pull the thrust out here. Short edge too actually makes this easier, which is probably the reason why. This is more orthodox, I would think. I'm coming through, snap that short edge over and extend it out. Make that contact from the thrust, and then I'm going to let the tip pull me into my step afterward. Again, unchaining hands and feet, letting the hands defensively come first, and letting the foot follow through afterwards with it. Emphasizing that second step at speed, it tends to be a bit more fluid, still. Body, hands first, foot coming second to finish that thrust. We do the exact same thing on the other side too. So if I wanted to start on my left side and the thrust is coming over here, I'm going to pull my thrust over, pull my cut over, wind. Here I do long edge against. Same thing, hips first, feet second. Make that work. That's it. Thank you, TSG.